Hey everyone, Carol Hickman here with Chick Stamper. Welcome to day 23 of my 24 days of Christmas for 2020. Tomorrow will be our last video. I'm so excited today to show you this adorable little treat holder. It's a treat tube, test tube holder, and it's got reindeer food inside. When my kids were younger, we always made reindeer food to sprinkle out in the yard on Christmas Eve to help the reindeers know where to land and where to bring Santa. So on the back side, I've got this cute poem, and it says, "Magic reindeer food. Sprinkle in the yard tonight. The moon will make it sparkle bright. As Santa's reindeer fly and roam, this will guide them to your home." So I filled little treat tubes with it, and I can give it out to my grandkids and my godkids, and I think it will be fun, a fun way for them to celebrate and help Santa find their home this year. Alrighty, let me show you how I made this. Now you might have any kind of test tube will work. These are the treat tubes that Stampin' Up! Sold a few years ago, so I still had some in my stash. But if you've got another type, then obviously, of course, that will work too. You may have to adjust your hole size when we get to that part of the tutorial to fit your particular test tube, because sometimes they are skinnier or fatter than mine are. Okay, let's take a peek. So I'm using the stamp set Festive Post, and it coordinates with the rectangular postage stamp punch. So it's kind of fun, and it's nice that they coordinate. And so that's what we're using today for today's project. But we're going to start with a 4" by 11" piece of Mossy Meadow. Let me get my scoring tool out. We are going to score this. So I've got the 11" side across the top, and we're going to score at 1/2 inch. My half an inch is always a little wonky. There we go. 1/2 inch. Okay. And 1 3/4, 4 1/4, and 5 1/2. Now we're going to turn it 90 degrees, and we're going to score all the way down at 1 1/4 and 2 3/4. Okay, so now comes something a little tricky. Hopefully you can see how we've got these score lines over here, and we have a really nice wide area with no vertical score lines on this side. So with that side to the right, I'm going to score at 8 inches, but I'm going to stop when I get to this score line, which is at 1 1/4 inches. So I'm going to stop. Then I'm going to just turn it around, and now I'm going to do the same thing, but at 3 inches. So you can see that there's a score line here and a score line here, but not on this middle piece. We want this middle piece to be without a score line, this whole big strip. Okay, so let me show you how I trim this up. So I'm going to cut off these top tabs here, left and right. Because we won't need them. So we've got a little bit of trimming to do on this piece before we can assemble our box. Alrighty. So now we've got a big space here and a little one here. So this little one, we're gonna trim up on both sides. Again, we're stopping at that next score line, which is at 1 1/4. Now we're going to take this middle tab here, and we're going to turn it into a point. And I'm going to trim this one just a little more. Sometimes it's kind of hard to see exactly where those score lines are. All right, now I'm going to go down. I'm going to skip this big flap here, and I'm going to do the same thing with this smaller flap. Cut it up on both sides, and now go to the middle and make a point. And it's okay if that point's a little curvy. That's okay. It's not going to show. And I don't need this little flap here on the bottom. And so we've got to do the other side because we want it to be symmetrical. Don't need that flap. This small flap we're going to make into a point. And this is just going to help us be able to assemble our box. Skip this large flap and go to the next one. That's a small flap or small square, however you're looking at it. And point this one as well. Okay. Yay. So this is what we're left with. So we can just kind of bend a little bit. We know that from the score lines where everything's going to bend at, and that just kind of helps us see. There we go. So this is going to help us get our box together, but I want to punch that hole for my test tube or treat tube. So I'm using a 3/4 inch circle punch, which is retired. So hopefully you have something. If I had a fatter test tube, I might need a 1 inch or even a 1 1/4 or 1 1/2. But I'm just going to punch this right in the center. And I don't have a die, a current die that's this size either. So that's why I'm using this retired punch. So keep that in mind. I'm using a 3/4 inch to make the hole, but your hole might need to be a different size because of the size of your treat tube. So I just want you to keep that in mind. Okay, so we can kind of see that we're gonna score down, or excuse me, fold down. We've got all these score lines here, but I wanna flip it over because I wanna put some tear and tape down so that we'll be ready to assemble. There we go. So I'm only going to put it on these 2 flaps and right up against the outside. That is the only adhesive we need. That's pretty fun. Okay, so now let me get my bone folder and let's really fold all these folds and make everything crisp. You know how I like that when we're making something 3D, right? I think the kids are gonna think this is so cute. I know my kids used to love it. And now they've got kids of their own. So hopefully my grandkids will love it too. Okay, so everything is nicely burnished. I'm going to use some glue dots here. Let's get those out. And I want to put the glue dots. This is an optional thing, but when I made my samples, I realized I liked it. So I'm going to put some glue dots on the outside of these little triangles here. And that's so that when we close up our box, those triangle flaps go where I want them to go, because I want them to kind of stay upright and out of the way. There we go. So now we can pull the tear and tape, little protective sheeting. Let's try this side. There we go. And now this part of the box can be closed up. Okay, so then this top part, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put a little glue dot on the outside of these flaps so that when I close them inside our box, whoops, that's the wrong, silly me. I want it on the other side. Let's put it on this side. Okay. So now when I close this up, these will stay out of the way as well. And that way they just don't get in the way when the treat tube goes in there. And I can put my my finger through the hole and push down those little triangles that have the glue dot on them. There we go. Ready to go. Okay, so let's decorate. So I thought it would be fun to use the the postage stamp punch. And so I just have some of the Heartwarming Hugs designer paper. And I'm going to use some adhesive and put this up on the back of it. There we go. And then for this front piece, I have a piece of thick Whisper White, and this is 1 1/4 by 2 1/4. And I'm going to stamp on it and then attach it to this real red piece, which is 1 3/8 by 2 3/8. So let's stamp. I've got stamps from the Festive Post stamp set. And this reindeer is so cute, I think. And since it's reindeer food, I thought we should have a reindeer on it. There we go. And got a little stamp that says Merry Christmas from this same Festive Post stamp set. Let's see. There we go. How cute is that? All right, let's see. So we'll adhere this. To our real red piece. And then adhere it to our box. So much fun. What kind of traditions do you guys have? Have you used the reindeer food for the kids? It's similar to putting out cookies and milk for Santa, right? And I suppose depending on your weather, that's easier generally to set those by the fireplace. So Santa has a little snack. And we've always given carrots for the reindeer as well. So, all right, so this is pretty cute. I thought a red rhinestone would be perfect for the nose because we want him to look like Rudolph. There we go. To help shine the way for Santa and his sleigh. And then I've got about 16 inches of this red sheer ribbon. And it's just to add a little something. So I'm just going to tie it in a bow. I think this piece might be a little longer, but I think 16 inches will be a good size. And then once I tie it and adjust it, I can kind of scooch it up in place is what I'm thinking. Because I want it to be a little higher. Maybe. There we go. A little higher so that he shows above the treat tube. Okay. And trim this side. Alrighty, so we're getting so close. So I made a PDF, you guys, that shows the poem. And the idea is you'll be able to download this on YouTube. The video will be there, but there will also be a link to go to my blog at chickstamper.com. And the post for today will have this PDF link that you can print this out to print out the little poem. And I'm going to use the same postage stamp punch since that's what we're using on this project. And I'm just going to punch that out and I'm going to put it on the back side so that whomever I give this to, this would be a cute vendor fair idea as well if you sell things at vendor fairs. But whomever I give it to, they'll know what it's for, and they'll be able to see that cute poem about the magic reindeer food. Alrighty, so I mixed up. I looked online, and I saw Santa say that his reindeers love oatmeal. So I have some oatmeal, and I have a little bird seed mixed in with it because they those reindeers like that as well. And they get hungry when they're flying around. So I just mixed a little bit up in this bowl. And let's fill the treat tube. And then we can put the stopper on and it's ready to go. So it's kind of nice. So each child can have their own little tube to sprinkle out in the yard, and you know that you're not hurting anything with it. How cute is that? There you go, you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember that all 24 projects for this month are available on YouTube, but the full written PDF with lots of photos and step-by-steps written instructions are available when you purchase $50 or more during the month of December from my online store. And you can reach that store at chick.stampinup.net. And all orders over 50 this month will receive the full PDF tutorial. And those will go out tomorrow night because tomorrow is our last day. I can't believe it. Our last day of our 24 days of Christmas for 2020. So I thank you guys. Those of you who have already purchased, thank you so much. I really appreciate you. And if you need anything, you know you can always email me at carol@chickstamper.com. And let me know if you have a question, or you can send me a direct message on YouTube or Facebook. My Facebook page is facebook.com/chickstamper. And of course, YouTube. Please subscribe while you're watching this video at youtube.com/chickstamper. Or at the end of this video, you'll be able to see a little place to subscribe as well. So thanks you guys so much. It's been so much fun this month. I can't wait to show you tomorrow our very last project. Take care. Have a great day. Bye-bye.